I'm not sure how long I'm gonna go here and take a look at my status. I just wanted to come out and just say this and just I'm gonna speak as someone who's been playing this game for the beginning, and for other people who are probably gonna be watching this today at some point. You do not have to watch the full video if you don't want to, and feel free to comment your reactions based on everything that's been going on for this Nebula Realms remake. And this is not what you're supposed to do to a support base. And I'm gonna bring up a post that they posted today, and I'm gonna take you guys years ago. I'm going to take you guys a couple years back from when they first started the hype for this particular remake. And just again, I'm not sure how long I'm going to go for this particular video, but let's start with the first post that they made here and the whole situation. I'm not sure what's going on, and I feel like this could have all been taken care of prior. And just again, you do not come out with a post and play around with false hope and come out with unrealistic dates, release dates that I said well, basically not last week, a couple weeks ago during early May or mid-May for this year when they announced the delay. You came out with two different posts back to back, consistent back to back weeks. You said you you come out with a delay. The first time you said that it was going to be you guys needed to polish the game a little bit more, and then the next week now you run into critical issues, and then some time passed. Now here we are today, and then you say we're currently waiting for the Steam and PlayStation QA check. Expect the game to release as soon as we get approval, hopefully in less than 3 weeks. So that's in parentheses for the post. Y'all want to check it out, head over there to the Facebook, and you can head over there to the Twitter page. Steam version is going to launch sooner than PlayStation. Now, when you say something like that, just that ending kind of just doesn't sit well with me. And I'm just going to say this now. Why is the Steam version such a priority? Your player base from your roots consists of from PlayStation. I'm going to stay in this spot because I don't want to move to any sort of public space with the potential, the high probability, the high chances of you getting a crash in this game and just having to start all over trying to reload into the game. So instead of just doing a live reaction form of a video, I wanted to come on the game itself and go into a personal space. Basically, from all this time, it's been nothing but false hope. And I just don't think this is just the right way to go upon bringing a game and trying to make it grow when the communication is not that great and it's fallen off. And most people have stopped playing this game. And I'm just going to be open more. I'm going to open up my list a little bit. I was going to open a friends list, but at my friends list here, almost more than half of my friends list that I met some of you guys from this game from the get go, from the very beginning, do not play this game anymore. So I just wanted to really just put that out there right now. And now that was this post that the post that I just basically read is what they posted today. Now I'm going to bring up a post from the particular date in which the hype from this post originally started for the remake and when this all began. And I personally think this is just not this is so much time that has passed with in regards to the update itself. This is not what you're supposed to do with your supporter base. And going back, I've been playing this game since the beginning. And let me take y'all back a couple years ago. I have the screenshot to reference the post. January 29th of 2020, basically from 2019, consists of the whole hype of this post for the remake, for everything that's supposed to really come to fruition when it comes to the Nebula remake. This is when they first announced the changes that were supposed to be implemented in the game, where they were going to start over from the beginning. And this is not the first time that they've been starting over. If you guys been playing the beginning from the beginning like I have, they originally took this game off the PlayStation Store and then had to go back and start all over from the get-go and rebuild the game, recode it, and all that. That's when they first started doing this and they had to start all over. They did this already quite a few times with the Unity update and the constant recode and trying to test the servers. The servers are just not running well. And for me, if I'm a game developer, I'm going to make sure I communicate with my supporters to make sure everything is running well. Tell us what's going on. Don't be scared to come out with a post and tell us what's going on. If it's a delay, that's okay too. All lots of different games come out and they get delayed after delay, but at least we find out way before the actual release date. We'll find out. We're not going to find out the day of. We're not going to find out the day prior from just the release date of the game. You just supposed to log in and come out with a post and talk to your supporters and let us know what's going on, because that's why I put this in my status. That's false hope. You're consistently doing that over and over, and that's not good. That's not a good look for a dev team. That's not a good look for a game that you're trying to allow to grow. And then, just like I said earlier in May, this is something that you're not supposed to do when you come out with a game. You come out with consistent false hope, you're lying to the fan base, you're lying to the supporters, and people who have been supporting your game from the get-go. That's how you lose players. That's how you're going to consistently fall down. You're going to go downhill, and people are not going to want to support you and your game anymore. So that's what I really have to say. And just someone who's been playing this game, I've covered all the updates. I know the ins and outs of the game and all the different updates. I got the full playlist of since the game first started. We didn't have the things that we had in the game. We did not have the features that we have, from local motions, the personal spaces, and so much more. And I'm going to go as far as saying, where's the third party support? You guys got to get some more third party supporters and third party help for this game so there's more consistent content. What's up with Juggernaut Games? Are they going to be able to come out? Are they even coming out with even more content anymore? Tribal Games, what happened to them? What's the whole story with all that? Seems like they decided to drop third party support for this game, which is not a good idea. That just detriments your content for the game. It doesn't add more to it. And then when you're consistently, all these updates that I've been playing and covering for these events that are seasonal holidays or seasonal events, they're not events. You come on, there's just a brand new spec of clothes for a shot. You log in, get the outfit, put it on your avatar, and you're getting ready to get off the lot. You're gonna get off and play that other game. That's not a good update. You come out with a shot, you just get the outfit, you rock the latest outfit, and then you move on and you change into something else for a different seasonal update, for a different seasonal holiday event that's gonna come on. You're not really getting anything out of it. The grind is too big and too long for the points, for people who probably don't want to spend money on the game and choose to spend their dollar and their money on other games that are on all these different games that's coming out year after year and throughout the year. They probably don't want to buy any content off the shop and be able to support, because there's no point in anything to really get into. The lack of mini games and the lack of activity is just boring. So that's why I just have this game, and every time I'm playing or streaming the game, at some point, I just come on, cover the update. That's it. I don't have the means of coming back on this game. I'm just coming on, logging in, cover the update. That's it. Gotta wait till the next month or so, or however long it takes for the update to drop, to be able to come out and want to produce and create content for this game, because there's nothing really to do. It's boring. It's too many personal spaces. The abundance. It's an oversaturation of personal spaces with the lack of activity and mini games. You're gonna buy a personal space in the game, you buy it, you give someone the tour, and that's it. And then that personal space is not gonna have any use in your inventory. It comes off as a waste of money, because you're not getting any sort of rewards for that purchase that you make from the game. It seems like that was the major focus for the majority of all this time that has passed. Personal spaces, shops after shop, close, no mini games. The lack of public spaces and the lack of communication has been a disappointment. That's not something that you want to be a major focus for your game. It's just false hope, just as you can see on the status. Again, it's just not a good look for your game. And just with the whole QA process that they talked about and went into, I guess touched upon sort of on their Twitter page, sort of, kind of. But as far as not knowing what's going to be a release window for the game, we don't know what's going to happen for this game. How do you know this is going to probably be another potential update, a potential update that's not going to run well? We had the beta. Of course, I didn't play the beta, and experience the play test or whatever you guys want to call it to experience it, is this really going to really make a difference for the remake and really allow people to play the game consistently how they want to and be able to get to point A to B with quick succession without having to crash? This game is full of crashes, and that's why you basically cannot really play it as often because you're constantly going to crash. You're going to be in infinite loading loops. It's just too many problems with this game. This game has been out for too long to be having these kind of issues. I'm not expecting a perfect game and for it to run perfectly. I play lots of glitchy, laggy games that's fun to play and just a fun experience and all because of the things that they added into the game to make it fun. But they took the time to put in the work to make the game better, to communicate with their support base and be able to talk with their supporters and let people know what's going on. You don't go quiet, you don't go ghost for months on end, and then you start explaining everything that's going on. You think people are just going to stay on this game and continue to support? I don't think so. With all the hundreds of thousands of games that's coming out year after year and all the games that's available to play now, I don't think that's a good idea. You're shooting yourself in the foot, and just like I said from that video from earlier in May, you're just doing more damage to yourself. You're just making it more more difficult for you to grow and to be able to prosper and be able to shine when there's all these other social games that people play and so much more to play out there on different platforms. There's nothing to really do. Players are not motivated and convinced and don't even have the means of logging in because of the lack of content. So that's why, and just for this particular video, I have to stay here because I'm going to crash in a public space. I'm going to get into a loading loop. I'm going to be stuck somewhere. And then as more updates come out, the game breaks on its own, which is supposed to be natural according to what coding. I'm not a game developer. But just like some things should be ran a lot perfect and a lot more better than way more improvements after all this time, you would think. And you started this hype from January 29th of 2020. We are in 2022 and we have all these problems and we're still not really prospering as it's for this particular game. See what I'm saying? And there's so many people, it's so much. It's this game is basically a waiting game. It's a constant waiting game over and over. I don't even want to open the shop. I know all the things that's there. You're gonna freeze on the shop. You can't even really explore the contents of the shop itself because you know that's all the stuff that you know it's gonna eventually freeze. If you go too far down into the shop and explore and stay on the shop too long, you're going to freeze and the game will lock up. You have to close the application. You have to start all over. It's just absolutely ridiculous to see all this stuff happening and all the lack of communication and the guessing game and constantly being in the dark. And then you go ghost and you're just like, it's as if they're scared to say something to even try to come out with a post. It's laughable, but just like, this is just not a good look for your game and it's not going to shine. It's not going to continue to grow and people are just going to move on if they haven't already. And they're going to be ready to drop and delete your game and send it to the Shadow Realm and be done with it forever. You're not going to be able to grow. And then with these constant posts, are just waiting and waiting and waiting. Who's to say what's going to happen next with the QA process? And something else I want to just be able to say is that I just personally think it's a bad move that the Steam release is some kind of the priority. Your roots and everywhere you started on the PlayStation. You started from building the support base from PlayStation. Why is the PC or the Steam version a priority when all your roots and all your player base consists of PlayStation players? That's not a good move. That's not smart, in my opinion. And I think it should be a priority to come out to PlayStation first because who knows what's going to happen when it comes out to the Steam. And that's too much pressure. And you're trying to do too much all at once. You're trying to, just like I said before, you're trying to expand on a platform that's different from console. That's not good. And when you already have hundreds and hundreds of problems and bugs and crashes and stability issues on the PlayStation, what do you think is going to happen when it comes out to the Steam version? They're not going to have the patience to be able to have the game run so poorly on the PC. That's not good. That's not good for your game. That's not good for the supporters. And people are going to delete your game and they're not going to want to play it. So it just like I said before, it's going to foreshadow everything that's going to happen on that newer platform. And just like I'm saying, you should probably come out with the game on the base platform first, resolve those issues that you have, communicate better, and be able to keep people in light of what's going on for the game itself. That's not a good look. It's going to allow the game to fall off, and it's just going to head downhill, and then they're going to continuously lose players. So just I want to say, I don't know the full story of what's been going on and all this stuff, all these mediocre updates. I'm just gonna say it. The updates have not been that good. These updates could have been skippable, and they're not really much of a priority. They didn't really need the Easter update and the Halloween updates and stuff like that and stuff like and just everything. Just with those updates in general, we didn't need those updates. You guys could have buckled down to focus on the remake. You guys said it yourself from that post from the beginning, January 29th, 2020. I got the post. You guys said that you guys were going to start all over, and you guys knew the repercussions of this game and knew that this game was in bad shape. So you probably should have focused on the Nebula Realms remake, on the remake first, drop this game in particular, and stop coming out with these little updates that only consist of shops and clothes and nothing else to really get into. There's no mini games. It's the mini games are the same. Some of the mini games are buggy. We need tracks, new tracks for the go kart rating. Put some new tracks out there, and just even more. This game needs so much changes, and just the false hope. I'm just not liking it. I just had to come out with it today. So I'm curious to see what you guys think of. But it's all good for the. Just like I said before, it's all good for the delays. I got plenty of games to play. I don't play this every day. Turn on the PlayStation, having a PS5, just playing Nebula Realms? I don't think so. Or just any sort of gaming platform. There's plenty of other games to get into. Who wants to sit on a game that's just with nothing to offer? No activities, nothing going on. Everybody standing still, looking at each other and stuff like that. Y'all could be in party chats talking about sports, gaming news and movies and trailers and stuff like that. You could do that in the party chat. You don't even have to be on this game for that. And just typing up paragraphs. Y'all can be in party chat and talk amongst each other. And that's what this game is. Yeah, it's a social game, but there's nothing really to do in the game to really want to hang out. You're just ready to move on and play something else. So it's just absolutely ridiculous. I just don't know what else I could possibly say. I just really hope the game gets better. Who knows what's going to happen with another remake? Is it going to even live up to the hype when it's available? Is it even going to be actually ready? Just because it's released doesn't mean it's going to be ready, and doesn't mean it's going to be running well. Based on the track record that I just explained, with all the issues that it's had, and then already having from the beginning, having to take the game off the PlayStation Store, I was stuck in the space for days, even weeks, and couldn't even get out. And I'm one of the original players for this game. The Nexus didn't even look like how it did. The leaf part and all the different things that I just said, the features that we had in this game didn't cease to exist. And this game had all these bugs and problems and loading loops and crashing issues ever since then, years ago. This is not just a 2 week or a few days sort of delay or an ongoing issue that's been happening that's only just recently started. No, this has been constant issues for a few years through the track record of this game. Ever since it's been out. It's free to play, but it has too many issues. It needs to be addressed. And even if this has to come out in 2023, let it come out in 2023 when it's ready and up to par. Don't be in a hurry to try to expand when your base product is not running well. See what I'm saying? So that's all I really wanted to say. I just didn't want to just keep on going and going. But just what I said, that false hope is not a good look, and just keep on coming out with these dates. Y'all should have never did that in the first place. Y'all giving us all this hype from these posts, the screenshots, teasing us and stuff like that, as if the game's almost ready when it's not. We don't even know what's the status of the game. What's gonna happen next? Let me know what you guys think. But I'm just not happy with this. I'm not. So what's gonna happen with Never Runs on my PlayStation? It's just gonna sit on the dashboard until then. And then if I hear anything that's any sort of if it release whatever comes out first, apparently the PC version or the Steam version is going to come out first, according to what they said. I'll keep you guys updated. And looks like that simultaneous universal release is not going to cut it. Looks like that simultaneous release has backpedaled. So it looks like the Steam version is going to come out when their original plan was to launch the remake on PlayStation and have the Steam version out with the so-called remake simultaneously. Looks like that's not going to happen.